Buon pomeriggio telespettatori di Tele One e Radio One, sono Chiara Bonifazio di Radio One e oggi ho il piacere di intervistare una delle star internazionali più famose del panorama progressive rock. Sto parlando di Keith Emerson, please welcome.
And in this wonderful city, really is quite wonderful. It's very hot and it's very humid, not like London. But
Not like London, definitely not like London.
better architecture, I think, you know.
So this is this your first time here in Palermo?
I think it probably is. I don't recall actually playing here with any of my bands, but I was here once, sometime in the early 70s or maybe late 60s. I do remember that, and that I was drinking this very strong Sicilian wine.
Maybe the Marsala.
I don't know what it was. It was like it knocked me flat, so I'm drinking water at the moment, so that's...
Ok, allora lui ha salutato tutti i telespettatori di Tele One, gli ho chiesto appunto se è la sua prima volta qui a Palermo e mi ha detto appunto che non è la sua prima volta a Palermo, lui si ricorda di essere stato qui negli anni 70, anche se comunque non ricorda molto bene cosa abbia fatto perché sta bevendo molto del vino siciliano che non ricorda il nome, appunto avevo suggerito qualche nome. Adesso inizierò comunque con delle domande in italiano, poi comunque dovrò tradurre in inglese per il nostro musicista. Allora, come è nata questa passione per appunto il piano e la musica in generale? So, how this passion for the piano and the music was born in your life?
My father played piano by ear, and I started to do the same thing. So he said, no, you have to learn how to play properly. So he found me a local piano teacher. And do you want to check?
Got it. Wow, so it was like the passion of your father, and then it became your passion, right?
Yes, there was, ever since I remember going way back when I was a very small baby, I remember my father was always, accordion mainly.
Okay.
He had a beautiful Scandali accordion, the mother of pearl, which I think was probably made in Italy somewhere. You know, it was his pride and joy. I still have it. But when we moved, my parents weren't very, they were poor. When we moved into a house, my father found a very old upright piano, and he started to play that, and I thought, wow. So, yeah, go on.
Ok, allora appunto ho chiesto come è nata questa passione per il piano, per la musica in generale. Appunto suo padre era un pianista, lui si ricorda proprio fin da piccolo che ascoltava le musiche del papà e ha incominciato anche lui a suonarlo ed interessarsi a questa bellissima musica del pianoforte. Bene, passiamo comunque a una seconda domanda. Nel 67 comunque si sa, ha iniziato la tua avventura con i Nice. Dopo i Nice sei stato anche il protagonista degli Help, appunto Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Che cos'è che comunque pensi sia cambiato tra l'esperienza con i Nice e gli Help? So in 1967 you started yes, exactly. In 1967 you started your adventure with the Nice, right?
Yes.
And after in the 70s then you split and you started your adventure with the Help, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Yeah. So I would like to ask you which kind of differences you found in these experiences between Nice and the Help, and plus, did you imagine that you would have had even more success after the split with the Nice?
No, no, it wasn't. That was not the attraction at all. The attraction was that I got to hear Greg Lake, singer and bass player, and I got to know of Carl Palmer, fantastic percussion, and which was different than what the Nice could do. The Nice were very funky, very low key, but there was a lot more interest in harmonics, in harmony, and people that could really sing. And so in the Nice, we weren't that. We were kind of very underground, psychedelic sort of thing.
Psychedelic.
But that was all going out of fashion, you know. So, but I still wanted to keep the progressive image, you know, going.
I understand. Appunto, diciamo che queste esperienze le ha trovate diverse nell'esperienza appunto musicale che ha avuto. Con i Nice era più una musica psichedelica, quindi erano un complesso che ancora stava nascendo nel rock progressive, mentre per quanto riguarda gli Help ha notato comunque che c'è stata un notevole cambiamento nel mondo del rock progressive e sono diventati un po' più appunto progressive rock, come diceva appunto lui. Bene, la terza domanda che comunque ti vorrei fare, sei comunque stato molto conosciuto anche come tastierista, sei stato anche molto conosciuto perché sei stato il primo ad aver suonato il sintetizzatore Moog live, come appunto avevano fatto i Beatles e i Rolling Stones soltanto in uno studio, tu invece l'hai fatto proprio live. So you are known even as to be the best keyboardist and even...
Well, my first knowledge of the Moog synthesizer was I went into a record store in London and I knew the owner of the store and he showed me a record switched on Bach with Walter Carlos, and there was a picture of a Moog synthesizer. It must have been about 1968, 1969, and so I actually found one that was owned by the keyboard player that was with Manfred Mann. Not Manfred Mann, but a guy called Mike Vickers. Yeah. And so I said, can I loan this and try it out in concert? And he said, well, it's not, you can't use it live. It's not meant for live. You use it in the studio. It's too. You can't use it in a live show. So I said no. I think I can.
You made a challenge with it.
Yes, and I contacted the Moog company. This is prior to forming Emerson, Lake and Palmer, right. And got hold of them. And I said I want one. And they said, well, it's not easy. We don't recommend that you buy one of these. I was really hoping to get one for nothing, you know.
Right.
That's as you would do, you know. And they said, nah, you know, we're not going to give you one for nothing. You have to pay quite a lot of money. And we had a record deal coming up for Emerson, Lake and Palmer. So I used the budget that I had from that to pay for the Moog synthesizer. And it was incredible. It wasn't easy at first. It's still a bit of a, you know, you still have to work at it.
Abbiamo appunto capito bene com'è nata questa esperienza con il Moog, con questo sintetizzatore che lui ha visto in uno studio di registrazione lì a Londra. Camminando è entrato e aveva chiesto delle informazioni riguardo questo sintetizzatore tanto famoso che avevano usato pure band conosciute come Beatles e Rolling Stone. Beh, loro gli avevano detto appunto che non era possibile usarlo live in alcune performance, però lui ha voluto sfidare quel tastierista e ha detto beh, io ci proverò. L'ha comprato un sacco di soldi perché costava un bel po' di soldi insomma, e ad oggi è stato considerato il primo ad aver usato il Moog ed eccolo qui, il padre del Moog. Allora, andiamo avanti con le domande. Allora, come solista, come carriera da solista, appunto sei stato anche famoso per aver appunto suonato la colonna sonora di Inferno di Dario Argento. So as a solo artist, you were even very famous here in Italy also because you were composing the soundtrack of Inferno by Dario Argento. Yeah. Can you remember how what inspired you for making this soundtrack?
Well, I'd had an experience of working with orchestras and even touring with them with Emerson, Lake and Palmer, but it proved very, very expensive. And I always wanted to do a film score, and my manager Stuart Young found out that there was Dario Argento who I hadn't heard of him, and but I always said to Stuart, I said, if I do a film score, I really don't want to do a love story, you know, anything adventurous and horror film, you know, horror, anything like that. So he said, well, I've got the perfect thing, and I was flown into Rome, and I got straight off the plane, and I went to the studio and met with Dario, and in one afternoon saw about 3 of his films. I'm just trying to remember the music that he used before. I think it was Goblin.
Actually, I don't remember. Probably.
No, you weren't even born then.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it was Goblin. But he wanted me, and I wanted to use an orchestra. So that was it. He gave me. Yeah, he sent me a rough copy, and I actually was there on the set of Inferno. I met with the actors and actresses.
It was a nice experience, wasn't it?
It was really funny. Well, I didn't know it wasn't meant to be funny, but I went back to. I was then living in the Bahamas because living in England, they took about 90% of your money away in tax.
Oh, okay, right. So
everybody left England. So
everybody. So you were living in Bahamas.
Yes,
okay.
and so there I wrote the music, and I just had a small synthesizer there and a keyboard, of course, and wrote the score there while watching little clips of the movie, which were pretty horrific. And my 2 sons, my 2 sons, well, naturally 1 son at that time, I had to keep him out of the room because it was too. I couldn't. He said, "Daddy, what are you doing?" I said, "Go away. You don't want to watch this. You'll have nightmares."
Right. Allora, abbiamo parlato appunto dell'esperienza che ha avuto nel comporre una delle famose soundtracks dei film di Dario Argento, appunto Inferno. Lui si ricorda un po' com'è nata. Il suo manager l'aveva chiamato perché Dario Argento era appunto interessato ad aver composta uno dei suoi soundtrack appunto da Keith Emerson. Keith Emerson agli inizi non conosceva Dario Argento, quindi abitando quel periodo alle Bahamas si ricorda che si era chiuso appunto in una di quelle stanze tra le palme e il mare, aveva visto uno di questi film horror. Era rimasto molto impressionato, diciamo che questa è stata la sua ispirazione per la sua appunto per il suo pezzo appunto che ha composto proprio per questo film. Si ricorda anche un piccolo particolare che c'era suo figlio che era appena entrato nella stanza, ha detto cosa stesse facendo e fa vattene via perché sono delle scene talmente orribilanti che non puoi neanche immaginare di vedere. Poi ha incontrato appunto Dario Argento a Roma, è volato proprio lì a Roma per incontrarlo e insomma è stata un'esperienza abbastanza divertente nonostante appunto il film horror che si ricorda in modo molto molto piacevole. Passiamo avanti con un'altra.
Can I add a bit more about Dario Argento?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, it was great working with him because he really allowed me to. He left it to me to do the music. He would say, "I want music here, and I want music there." You know, he particularly wanted Verdi. The Requiem. So I did a jazzed up version of that. And I remember going to the premiere. I was invited back. They showed it in Rome.
Okay.
The premiere in Rome. And it was really quite fun to watch the audience's reaction. They were hiding on the chairs, like some ran out, you know, they ran away.
Il grazioso gesto che ha fatto Dario Argento nei confronti di Keith Emerson nell'averlo appunto invitato nella premiere del film Inferno negli anni '80 appunto, e si ricorda appunto l'esperienza vissuta nella sala cinematografica dove appunto tutti gli spettatori del cinema erano molto terrificati dalle scene di questo film. Andiamo avanti, un'altra domanda per il nostro Keith Emerson. You are here in Italy, so there's some kind of Italian singer or artist that you appreciate. Siamo qui appunto in Italia, quindi parliamo un pochino di musica italiana, vediamo un pochino se il nostro caro Keith conosce qualche artista italiano. I just made the translation before.
Oh, okay.
Yes, if you know some Italian artist or if you know some, which one, for example?
Yes. In the early 70s, Emerson, Lake and Palmer were in a position to form a record label. And one of the bands that caught my attention was PFM. Premiato, something.
Yes, PFM.
Yeah, and Banco.
Okay.
And so we helped to push them, and I think the records did very, very well in England because they were very much in the Emerson, Lake and Palmer sort of progressive rock vein, yeah, and that was it. I've always had a fondness for Italy, and for some reason they seem to like me, particularly after Honky Tonk Train Blues.
Ok, dunque abbiamo appunto chiesto al nostro Keith Emerson se aveva qualche preferenza nella musica del campo italiano. Lui aveva detto che negli anni 70 conosceva una band appunto famosa, Banco, in Italia, gli FMMs. PFM, ok, PFM, li riteneva molto molto validi sempre nel suo campo appunto del progressive rock. Ok, adesso chiediamo un pochino se si trova qui appunto a fare della tournée, chiediamo un pochino di date, un pochino di progetti futuri. At the moment that you're here in Italy, I would like to ask you if you have here the tour, so you will playing in Taormina and in Palermo, right, on Saturday, right?
Yes, I don't think the other one, the first one you mentioned,
Taormina.
Yeah, I don't think that worked out because it was a little bit difficult to get everybody in there. I don't know, it's not an easy venue, but I didn't know about this until yesterday, so nobody told me anything,
Okay. So in Palermo you will be playing here, and then you have other dates in Europe?
Well, I hope so. Yes, I mean they're a marvelous orchestra, and Primavera Shima, who's playing, I think my piano concerto.
Okay.
Yeah, very very great piano player, and the orchestra they're fun. They're a lot happier than I just was playing a concert in England with the BBC Concert Orchestra. They're not fun.
Per tutti i fan di Keith Emerson possono andarlo a guardare a Palermo il 5 settembre. Adesso chiediamo un pochino dei suoi progetti futuri, come se avesse mai immaginato di ritrovarsi qui dopo 40 anni in attività. The first question, and I think even the last, because you look very tired.
I had a late night last night.
Okay, so could you imagine 40 years ago to be here right now, sitting down next to us and talking about these beautiful experiences that you had in your life?
God, no. No way. No. I remember when I was at school, and my schoolmates, I was playing the piano in music lessons at school, and the music teacher in the classroom used to call me out at the end of the lesson and say, play the piano. And so a lot of my schoolmates, I was at a very rough school, all boys and lots of bullying. But I missed that because I played Jerry Lee Lewis, Fats Domino, Little Richard stuff, and so they left me alone. So I was okay as long as I played rock and roll. I was cool.
You were cool.
But if I played Mozart, Beethoven,
you didn't like that.
No, I didn't like that. No.
Ok, appunto ho chiesto se appunto si fosse ritrovato, se avesse appunto immaginato di trovarsi qui dopo 40 anni seduto a fare ancora un'intervista e parlare di questi suoi grandissimi successi che ha avuto nell'arco della sua carriera musicale. Beh, lui l'unica cosa che mi ha detto è che si ricorda proprio una volta a scuola, appunto una delle sue esperienze scolastiche, di essere deriso dai suoi compagnetti di scuola perché lo ritenevano comunque un buffone, perché suonava il piano e quindi diciamo un pochino lo deridevano. E lui diceva sempre, fin quando comunque suono la musica che piace a me, io sono felice così, o solo, non solo, comunque, questo è quello che mi piace fare, questo è quello che voglio fare, quindi eccolo qui, insomma, è diventato uno dei più grandi artisti della musica internazionale. So, what's next?
What's next? Well, I'm writing some more orchestral pieces, which will be recorded. There's quite a few things in the pipeline, actually, but at the moment I'm just happy taking a break. You know, I'm concentrating on being a composer, and we'll wait and see. I mean, I've got a great band in California, and occasionally we go out, you know, and do tours and things. But it becomes expensive after a while, particularly with the Moog synthesizer, which is it's quite big and it's very costly to ship around. So I don't know. Hopefully there'll be more classical concerts coming up with the conductor Scott Jackson Wiley, you know, which I've got to know very well, and he likes this crossover idea, you know, and I think the orchestra does, because they're so used to playing Beethoven symphonies and you name it, all the classics.
So they mix a little bit of rock and classical music.
Yes, yeah, you know, I think orchestras today are so desperate for new material, you know.
Right, yeah.
And so that's the direction that I'm sort of going in, you know.
Ok, thank you. Allora, appunto, abbiamo chiesto quali sono i suoi progetti futuri. Beh, innanzitutto si rilasserà a casa sua in California, dopodiché comporrà altri pezzi musicali e spero appunto lì in California sempre di fare qualche tournée di musica classica, jazz e rock, appunto progressive, come a lui piace tantissimo. Noi ringraziamo appunto il nostro caro Keith Emerson. Thank you so much for having us here. Thank you. Insomma, questo è tutto da Tele One. Chiara Bonifazio, Keith Emerson.
Hi, everybody at Radio 1. This is Keith Emerson, enjoying all the sunshine in Palermo here and looking forward to the concert on Saturday. Hope you can come and attend. It should be a lot of fun. Yeah.